So today we're going to be talking about the 10 best Brazilian UFC fighters right now in the promotion. Starting off with an honourable mention, we have got fan favourite Mauricio Huffy. Right now, I cannot put this guy on this list. Mauricio Huffy has kind of taken the UFC by storm as a part of the Fighting Nerds group. He's got a professional MMA record of 12 wins, 1 loss. Mauricio Huffy is currently 4-0 in the UFC. He's coming off a career best performance at UFC 313 where he knocked out Bobby Green by spinning heel kick. That will probably be KO of the year, for being honest. It was such a good KO. He put Bobby Green completely out cold. Mauricio Huffy is very close to being ranked in my opinion. I think he will get an opportunity to fight someone in the rankings for his next fight. There is that rumour of him fighting Beneil Dariush next. That is a possibility. But as of right now, Mauricio Huffy, he is the honourable mention. He cannot be inside the top 10 as of right now in my opinion. Although in a couple months time, depending on who he fights next, he would be on this list. Starting it off in at number 10, we have got UFC welterweight legend. Legend might be a bit of an extreme term to describe Vicente Luque, but this guy's been about for a very long time. At one point in time, Vicente Luque was one of the most exciting fighters to watch on the UFC's roster. Vicente Luque has a current professional MMA record of 23 wins, 10 losses and 1 draw. Vicente Luque is currently ranked number 14 in the welterweight division. He is coming off a win over Themba Gorimbo at UFC 310. He's got some big wins on his resume, like Belal Muhammad, who is the current UFC welterweight champion. Vicente Luque did knock Belal Muhammad out in the first round. They have fought since, and Belal Muhammad beat him by decision, shock horror. But Vicente Luque knocked out Belal Muhammad in the first round. He's also beaten former UFC lightweight champion in RDA as well. And there's a lot of other big names on Vicente Luque's resume. A very fun fighter to watch. He is taking the number 10 spot. Moving up in the number 9, we have got Gilbert Burns, former title challenger. Gilbert Burns has a professional MMA record of 22 wins, 8 losses. He is currently ranked number 8 in the UFC's welterweight division. He is coming off a couple of losses, if we're being honest. He is on a 3-fight losing streak, losing to Sean Brady, JDM, and the current UFC welterweight champion in Belal Muhammad. But Gilbert Burns does have a stacked resume. You know, he beat one of the best welterweights of all time in Tyron Woodley. He's also beaten the likes of Neil Magny. He went tooth and nail with Khamzat Chimaev. He's beaten Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, former title challenger. Gilbert Burns, as well as Vicente Luque, is a very fun fighter to watch. Gilbert Burns, though, is basically near the end of his career, in my opinion. I think after his next fight, which unfortunately he will lose to Michael Morales, I think that will be it for Gilbert Burns. But as of right now, with what he's done, where he is in the rankings, I have him in at number 9. Moving on. How did this guy creep onto this list? In at number 8, we have got Jhon Silva. Jhon Silva has a professional MMA record of 16 wins, 2 losses. He is currently on a 6-fight win streak and a 5-fight finish streak in the UFC. He got his first ever ranked win in his last fight, supposedly. I don't remember this happening, by the way. Apparently he submitted Bryce Mitchell. I don't really remember it, to be honest. And the images, when I Google it, seems very AI generated. So I don't know if I can trust it, but that is what they're saying. He is currently ranked number 11th in the UFC featherweight division. And as much as I hate the way this guy gets on, the fact he barks like I show speed, the fact that he supposedly beat Bryce Mitchell, I don't really know if the Bryce Mitchell loss actually is true, but I just don't see how Jhon Silva would beat Bryce Mitchell. Jhon Silva is good. This guy is good. Maybe a bit overhyped, but that's just me looking at bones to pick because of the AI generated images of what he done to Bryce Mitchell. But yeah, Jhon Silva's good. This guy is probably going to break the top 5 very shortly in the UFC's featherweight division. But as of right now, he is sitting in the number 8 spot in the rankings of the top 10 best Brazilian UFC fighters right now. Moving on, we have got Jhon Almeida in the heavyweight division. Almeida is currently ranked number 6th in the UFC's heavyweight division. He is on a 2-fight win streak. His last win coming over Sergey Spivak at UFC 311 at the start of the year. He's got a professional MMA record of 22 wins, 3 losses. Like I said, he's ranked number 6. There's going to be a point in time where Almeida is going to be fighting for the UFC's heavyweight title, if we're being honest.
Bruh.
He does have some pretty good wins on his resume. Not really. He's beat Spivak, not a bad win in my opinion. He's beaten Derek Lewis, although he couldn't finish Derek Lewis. He just out-grappled him for 5 rounds and quite possibly one of the most boring fights of all time. But yeah, Jhon Almeida, he's a very grappling-heavy fighter in a division that the grappling isn't that great, if we're being honest. Almeida's jiu-jitsu is up there with some of the best in the division. You've got him, Aspinall, and maybe John Jones. Those are like the top 3 grapplers right now. Yes, he did suffer a loss to Curtis Blades. I think Curtis Blades is really good, but Almeida was ragdolling him for the first round, and he got caught with some big shots from Curtis Blades as he failed a takedown. But yeah, Almeida right now, he has to be number 7th on the list in my opinion. He's ranked number 6. He's got a lot of wins in the heavyweight division. I'm really struggling with what to say about this guy because there really isn't anything interesting. Let's move on into who number 6 is. It is Caio Borralho. This guy's currently ranked number 6 in the UFC's middleweight division. He has got a professional MMA record of 17 wins, 1 loss. Caio Borralho is on a 9-fight win streak in the UFC's middleweight division. He's coming off a big win over Jared Cannonier. Now, the rumours were a couple of weeks back before we figured out that we weren't going to be getting Khamzat Chimaev an International Fight Week. We thought Caio Borralho was going to be fighting Khamzat Chimaev for the interim middleweight title at International Fight Week. Thankfully, that isn't true. I think Borralho needs at least one more win before he's even speaking about title fights. There is the rumour that he is meant to be fighting Nasty Mamavov on International Fight Week, which would be a fun one. I do think Caio Borralho is slightly overrated. Now, I think Caio Borralho is a really good fighter, but I think like an Mamavov would beat him. I think a Whittaker would beat him. I mean, yes, his win over Cannonier was good. It actually was a good performance, but before that, he beat Paul Craig. It's Paul Craig. He went to a decision with Abbas Magomedov, who has literal 0 cardio. And when you go back and look at some of his other matchups, he went to a decision with Armen Petrosian as well. I think he's good, but there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. So Caio Borralho is ranked at a number 6. I think he will be top 5 by the end of the year, but it depends. I mean, when I think of who's above him in the division, like an Adesanya, like an Nasty Mamavov, a Sean Strickland even, Robert Whittaker, I think he will really struggle against those elite level guys. But I do think he is good, and I think he does have the skills to compete. I just think those guys are better. Moving on, we have got Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez has a current professional MMA record of 26 wins, 7 losses. Lopez is currently ranked number 2 in the UFC's featherweight division. He is coming off a fight for the UFC featherweight title against Volkanovski at UFC 314. Obviously, he was unlucky in that matchup. He was going in there against the greatest featherweight of all time in Volkanovski. Volkanovski is back. Although Diego Lopez did have his moments in there. He dropped Volkanovski in the second round pretty badly and hurt him in the fourth. He also has good wins in the featherweight division over the likes of Dan Ige, Brian Ortega, Sadiq Youssef. He had a close fight with Movsar Evloev as well. Diego Lopez is really good, in my opinion. I think this guy will definitely fight for the belt again. And I wouldn't be surprised if at one point he actually is the UFC featherweight champion. But what we need to see from him right now is we need to see him settle the beef with Yair Rodriguez. That is the fight we need to see next. Moving on, we have got the former flyweight champion in Deiveson Figueiredo, who takes on Corey Sandhagen this weekend. Figueiredo has a professional MMA record of 24 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. Like I said, former flyweight champion. He is now ranked number 5, in the UFC's bantamweight division. He went on a bit of a streak, beating the likes of Rob Font, former bantamweight champion Cody Garbrandt, and former title challenger in Chito Vera. Since then, he is coming off a loss to Petr Yan. He's got a very difficult matchup here on the weekend against Corey Sandhagen. I think Figueiredo is really well-rounded. I actually think he's underrated and a very fun fighter to watch that doesn't actually have like the backing that I think he deserves. He is near the end of his career. He's 37 years of age. But Figueiredo is always fun to watch and a great fighter, in my opinion. And he will be ranked number 4 on this list. Moving on to the top 3. We've got Charles Oliveira in at number 3. Former UFC lightweight champion, ranked number 2 in the UFC's lightweight division. He is coming off a win in a rematch over Michael Chandler that nobody actually wanted to see. But he has got a stacked resume, beating the likes of Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler twice. He's beaten Beneil Dariush, Tony Ferguson, Kevin Lee. The list goes on and on. Charles Oliveira has such a stacked resume, and he has been in the UFC since dinosaurs walked this earth. He is number 3. Moving on into the number 2 spot, we have got former light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira's professional MMA record of 12 wins, 3 losses. He is currently ranked number 1 in the light heavyweight division and ranked number 8 in the UFC's pound for pound rankings. Former 2-division UFC world champion in the middleweight and light heavyweight division. Future UFC light heavyweight champion when he beats Ankalaev in the rematch. Some of what he's done in such a short space of time, beating 5 former UFC world champions in Yuri Prohaska, Jamal Hill, Israel Adesanya, Sean Strickland, Jan Blachowicz. His resume is stacked, especially for what he's been able to accomplish in such a short space of time. And finally, the number 1, the best Brazilian fighter right now in the UFC. It is none other than Pantoja. Pantoja is currently somehow ranked number 10 in the UFC's pound for pound rankings, which is actually insane to me. I don't get how this guy isn't inside the top 5 pound for pound rankings. He should be. He's currently on a 7-fight win streak in the UFC's flyweight division. I think he's got, how many title defenses? 3 title defenses as of right now. Professional MMA record of 29 wins, 5 losses. He's beaten some really big names like Kai Sakura, Brandon Royval, Brandon Moreno, Kai Kara France. The list goes on. This guy's basically cleared out the flyweight division. He's also beaten Steve Ercik as well. Pantoja is the best Brazilian fighter right now in the UFC. So yeah, that is the list. Let me know, do you agree, do you disagree? And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I appreciate the support, and I will see you all again in the next one.